So we started by hiring a consultant because we didn't know which direction to go, and so we hired an amazing consultant specifically for agencies named Mike Kozoyel. Big shout out to him. If you're ever looking for work, he is phenomenal, and really takes a deep interest in his clients as well. So he ended up actually giving us a level of framework to use for building out those SOPs. Essentially, what it was a Google document in a hierarchical structure in a Google Drive, and you would go and make copies of this template and then go fill it out for a certain process and procedure. This was a couple of years ago, so I had to think about it. But I remembered a couple of kind of pointers that he gave before we started this exercise together. The first one is don't try to document an entire job within one SOP. Document it into certain functions. So, for example, your sales lead starts their day by going into the CRM and doing a certain level of work for about an hour. Go document that. That's one SOP, right? Because it's repetitive, and it is the same thing every single period of time for a dedicated period of time. And so we go and make a function of that. And then later in the day, he goes and sends his follow-ups, and he has a certain process and procedure that he follows for the follow-ups at noon. Go document that. Separate SOP, different document. Go follow that. Don't try to create an SOP out of somebody's entire day, because there's just so much variability that comes into that. Just certain functions of their job, and then start there. The second thing is don't think of it just from that individual's job, because with us as social creatures, right, sometimes there's cross collaboration. For example, when that same salesperson goes and closes a deal, what happens? They probably send it to somebody, right? They circulate the information. And so with that SOP, don't just document it from one person's eyes, document it from some other people's eyes. So certain SOPs might not just be for one role, it might be for a couple of roles, right? Mm-hmm. The first half of it is a salesperson, then it gets pushed off to fulfillment or whatever it is, right? Then fulfillment is the second half of that SOP, but it talks about that transition and what both of the parties need to do to make sure that what happens or what needs to happen happens.